James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play The Only Exception by Paramore. Now this is almost a 3-chord song. You know, it's the same 3 chords over and over again, except when we get after the second chorus to the bridge, then there's a couple more chords, but 90% of this song is 3 chords in the same order over and over, so it is a good song if you're just getting started. And if you are just getting started, I have 2 resources for you. There's my free ebook, which is free for all my subscribers, and it contains all the basics of strumming, so chords, chord switching, strumming patterns, has a lot of tips and tricks and things that'll help you get started. And if you want the step-by-step version of that, like the guided tour through all the basics, I have a complete beginner's guitar course. Links down below, so please check either of those out if you need any help with this. Anyways, before we get started, we have to put a capo on our guitar. Without a capo, this song is actually quite hard. It uses bar chords, and I would put it at an intermediate level, but a capo turns this into a very beginner song. So we get our capo at the 4th fret, just 1, 2, 3, 4th fret there. Make sure it's nice and snug, test each string. You know, if your capo's not tight enough, your strings might buzz. And if you don't have a capo, you can still learn to do the same shapes and everything. You just won't be able to play along with the original recording, so it'll be in a different key. That's all a capo does, is it just shifts the key up or down. So let's learn those 3 chords that we need. First, there's a G chord. And from there, we switch to D minor. And you might have noticed there when I switched from G to D minor, I left my 3rd finger down. So that's a little tip that'll make that a lot more efficient. And then our last chord is C major 7. So in that one, you definitely want to avoid hitting the lower string. And for D minor as well, you know, you want to avoid hitting that string. If you're familiar with the C chord, this is just the C chord without that finger. It's a pretty easy chord. So take a moment with those chords. Once again, if you're not familiar with them, it's all in my free ebook, so check that out, link down below. Otherwise, we're gonna practice playing these chords in order, starting out on the G chord. And for the rhythm, we're just gonna be doing downstrokes only, so we're not really gonna worry about that yet. We're just gonna keep it really simple. The song's in 3, so we're gonna be counting to 3, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know, most songs we count up to 4 over and over again. In this one, we're counting up to 3 over and over again. And we're gonna be playing our G chord quite a bit, so it might be a good idea to keep track of it by counting out measures like 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. That way we can keep track of how many times we've counted to 3. And I actually have a beginner guitar challenge coming out. It might already be out by the time I release this. And in that, we do talk about how to keep track of measures, like the really fundamental counting things that if you're having trouble getting strumming patterns and getting your rhythm together, like these are what you're missing. So I'll put a link to that down below as well. So keep that in mind as we practice playing through the chords in order. Starting out on G, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. Again. One more time. So make sure you can play it just like that, downstrokes only, counting along so that you're switching chords at the right time and so everything lines up. And once you can do that, once your chord switches are nice and clean, keeping track of everything, we're ready to learn the strumming pattern, which goes like this. I'll play it slowly now. 1, 2, 3. So when we break it down, it's pretty straightforward. We're just playing a downstroke on beat 1, and then we're playing a down up on beat 2 and a down up on beat 3. It all combines to give you down, down, up, down, up. And the one thing that might be a bit tricky with this rhythm is that it's a swing rhythm. You know, we don't robotically go like this. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So, you know, just listen to the song and get a feel for it. That's honestly the best way to do it. If you really want to count it out and get it perfect, we would go 1 and 2 and 3 and. So every beat is actually divided into 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and we're playing on the number and then the But, you know, just feel the rhythm. That's the way that 99% of people get it. I rarely have to actually break it down, and I find it kind of confuses people when I do break down swing rhythm like that. So practice that pattern and try to be able to play it many times in a row over a single chord. Just like when we were practicing the chords, we just played downstrokes. We didn't really worry about the strumming. Well, now that we're practicing strumming, just play one chord, you know, don't worry about switching. Just focus on getting that strumming pattern and being able to play it over and over and over again and looping it. And then when you can do that, you'll be ready to put it together with the chords. So let's try that nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. All right, so that's how you play the majority of the song. You know, that's the 3-chord wonder part of the song. Now we're gonna move on to the bridge, which requires a couple more chord shapes. First is A minor. And then D. Let's quickly practice the chord order because it's totally different here. We're gonna be going A minor, G, D, a couple times, and then we're going to play our C major 7. So it's, you know, mostly the same components. Let's just try it out. Here we go, starting out on A minor. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Again. Couple more times on that. 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, switch to D. C. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you'll notice at the very end there, I strummed C a couple times and then I just strummed it once and I let it ring. We're going to play our strumming pattern 2 times on C. And then we're just going to strum it on beat 1 and count it out. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then from there, we go back into our original 3 chords. So let's try putting that together now with the strumming pattern nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so the only part left is at the very end of the song when she says, "And I'm on my way to believing." We need one new chord for that. It's F. And that's an easy way to play F. So we skip the first string, first fret, second, putting my pinky finger on the third fret, cover that up with my thumb. I go over this in my ebook and my course. This is my favorite way to play the F chord aside from the bar chord. So for beginners, it's a really good one. And then we go to C. And we've been playing C major 7 this whole time. Since our first finger's already down on the F chord, we can easily switch to C. Just try that a couple times. You can leave both these fingers down. C, F, C, F. So we're on C. And we're going to play it with the strumming pattern 1 time through this progression, and then we're just going to do downstrokes, 1 on each chord the second time. Let's just try it together. You can always rewind it and watch it a couple times. At this point, you're probably quite used to the strumming pattern and to the chords, so just take a moment with it, and you probably won't have any problem with it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's how you play The Only Exception by Paramore. Before we go, I have a couple things I want to talk about in regards to the form. The form is the order that you're playing everything in. It's how you assemble all the pieces. And for the most part, we're just going to be playing our 3 chords. Just doing that for like 90% of it. But there's a couple exceptions. So just after the first chorus, when it ends, we're going to do 4 extra measures of G. So the chorus ends, only exception. Then we just 2, 3, 4. And then we go back into the verse. So it's just a little bit different. There's 4 extra measures of G. And the other difference is right before the second chorus, we're going to be on our C major 7 chord. And normally we play it 2 times. Well, we're going to add 2 more measures of C major 7 before the second chorus. So it'll go like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally we would just go 1, 2, but here there's a third and a fourth one. So that's it. Aside from that, it's a really simple song to get the order of it. So at this stage, I recommend printing the lyrics, writing, the chord progression. I don't write the chords over every single lyric. I don't think that's effective. I just write it beside it. I just put each chord progression. So I would just write like G, D minor, C, and maybe put G 4 times, like G, 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 then D minor 2 times, D minor, D minor, and then C 2 times. And that way you know how many times you're playing everything. and write in those little exceptions. You know, after the second chorus, there's 4 extra measures of G. So those are the only exceptions. Aside from that, it's mostly a 3-chord tune plus that bridge plus that ending. Have a fun time practicing this one, and I'll see you soon.